Congresswoman, some of the comments on social media were from folks basically saying, I'm tired of the speeches. We need some real action. What do you say to those people?
I say I agree with them. We'd love to have some action. The House has passed two bills. We're waiting to see what the Senate will do. One of them has already been voted down, but the one that restores some of the oversight of what happens during elections, the John Lewis Act, has not yet been voted on. I'm hoping that we'll get some type of federal coverage in a state like Texas under the current circumstances. That is our only remedy.
So
The courts have been stacked, and so the remedy of trying to get court action has not been satisfactory. Let me just say that the last decade, we went to court 3 times to the Supreme Court. We won 3 times, but it was remanded back to the legislature to make those corrections. They never happened. The only thing they did was tweak to get what they wanted without any regard to correcting it according to the population. We have 2 additional seats after the census this year, and they're working right now to figure out how not to give the growth the representation. The growth has been minority, and they're working right now to figure out a way not to give that representation.
well, you actually went right where I wanted to go. You spoke of the Supreme Court being stacked. So if these bills are turned into law, who's to say that the majority conservative Supreme Court won't just strike it down?
Well, we can't say that, but what we are hoping they will do is read the law and interpret the Constitution as it was intended. That's all we can hope for. But I'm hoping that that will happen because our case is so clear. It is so clearly discriminatory that it would actually be a miscarriage of justice for the courts not to recognize that.
So, Congresswoman, I got to ask you this because, you're seasoned, to say the least. And it just seems from, also tracking social media comments, some would say that Black matters always seem to take a back seat. What's your response to that?
I've been a part of a lawmaking body since the 70s. I have been in a fight since the 70s. And even though it might not have the appearance of the fight going on, we have been in battle. I just never thought I'd live this long to see the resistance to having participation at the polls by minorities, and most especially African Americans. It's almost as if they fear that we're going to treat them like they treated us over the years. And that's not the case. We just want fairness and justice, and we will not settle and not stop for working until we get it.
And I mean, the Constitution, the 26th Amendment says we have that right, but
Exactly.
here we are.
And it's a constant battle. I cannot tell you how many times I felt we made a step forward and 2 backwards, a step forward and 2 backwards. But I will not be discouraged, and none of the rest of us should be. And our people should be probably read a little bit more, be in touch with their elected officials a little bit more to see that the battle continues. We also need the help of making sure that we all registered and participating. They just signed a law about making Juneteenth a national holiday. And, that's also the person who sponsored that bill is also the one who is against the voting rights bill. Because we had in that bill to make the National Election Day the holiday. But they want to give us a holiday in the middle of the year, and they were joking about the barbecue and the red soda pop. But I say use that day to register 1 million or 2 more people.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk about this very important issue. It was truly a pleasure interviewing you, and thank you for joining us on BNC.
Thank you very much.
Wholesale inflation has jumped by a record amount over the last year. What that